What's up, YouTube? Demi here. Just wanted to do an announcement news video update about the private leagues thing they posted today and a couple other things from the general community. So, Diablo Immortal. I think that Blizzard mainly just fucked up the PR campaign for it. If they had talked about, like, they didn't announce anything about Diablo for like 3 years at BlizzCons, and then this year they announced that they're going to have a Diablo announcement, big announcement, hyped it all up, all this other stuff, and then they announced a mobile version of a reskinned game. So if they had just not done any of the hype for it, and just been like, oh yeah, we're doing this little mobile thing that's kind of Diablo-like, right? People wouldn't have been mad about it, but because they overhyped it, people are really pissed off, so I think it's fine. The game's probably going to be fine. Obviously, they fucked up the campaign and shouldn't have done that in the first place. But anyways, on to Path of Exile. Announcing private leagues. Next week we'll announce Path of Exile 3.5, our largest expansion this year. In the meantime, we have a smaller announcement. Ever since PvE's development, we plan to add support for players to pay for the creation of a private league for them and their friends to play in. They actually already had this on the China servers, so people kind of knew this was going to happen at some point. For the past like week or two, they've had it over there, and we're now getting it here basically. So we've designed private leagues with the needs of two groups of players in mind. The first group is players who want a more challenging PvE experience. The second is players who want to see how far they and their friends can get without outside influence from the rest of the league. So it's basically group SSF, sort of. It'll also be fun for content creators who want to create an entertaining stream or video by playing PvE on obscenely difficult settings, potentially alongside their community members. And it's important to us that private leagues don't make the game easier. That's why special events like Flashback, Turmoil, and Mayhem are for. We'll continue to run special events like these in the future. So what that means is that, like, to me, I think that means the special league events, you're not going to be able to get like extra drops from the league stuff. You don't get like a quantity bonus because there's like GMP on the map, for example. It just makes it harder for no bonus. So that's kind of interesting. And you are going to have to pay for it. So private leagues cost 120 points, that's 12 bucks. They last 10 days with 10 character slots. You can buy 10 additional slots for 6 bucks, 100 slots for 60 bucks. You can extend it by 10 days or 30 days. There's no discount for bulk stuff, which I kind of have an issue with. You should get a discount for buying a massive amount, you know? It's the same price, they just multiplied it, so I'm not even sure why they bothered listing that. Additional mods that can make the game more challenging can be added for free at content creation. You can add additional slots and days at any time once the league has started. You cannot extend it beyond 2 months, as it's new and they're still experimenting. Here's the stuff that you can add. You can get monster damage, life speed, elemental damage, and projectiles with a bunch of different tiers. You can get reduced resistances, so you have harder chances of gearing yourself. No stash, if you want to play literal Iron Man. You can't store anything. Fuck that. No magic or rare items drop. I actually really like this concept. I wish they would do a league like this with like slightly increased currency drop rates and no magic or rares. So that means you have to craft all of your own gear basically, instead of just finding rares all the time. It just like, it would totally murder loot. You just look for good item level, good bases, or in Shaper and Elder bases and craft yourself. I like that a lot. No vending, you can't buy or sell items to NPCs, so no recipes, which is kind of shitty. And there's no point in picking up anything in maps to like vendor, you just have nothing out of it. Famine leagues, life mana, energy shield, and flasks do not refill when you go to town. This is kind of whatever to me. I don't really think that matters. The only thing I could think about that was like flasks refilling when you go to hideout for specific boss fights. Most characters have enough leech that it doesn't matter at all for any of that, or regen. It's completely irrelevant. Just the flask refills for boss fights. So that was like, I don't really care about that. It plans to add even more mods like item durability, where you can get negative quality over time and it gets destroyed when it hits negative 20%. That's interesting as well. Many of these existing mods can be used to create Iron Man modes that players enjoyed with old school action RPGs in the 90s. Yeah, no, that sounds cool. I like that. Once the league has started, you cannot change the mods, so that once you have achieved something with those mods, it's like you haven't just added them afterwards, you know? This is cool too. You can crowdfund it, so we can get a bunch of players that sign up for the league and everybody puts points into it instead of all one person paying it and then everybody else trying to give them money somehow. It's pretty cool. It makes sense. You can just throw your extra points in and then you can get in if it's enough or whatever. When you create a private league, you can choose to base it off any core, permanent, or challenge leagues that are currently running. So you can do standard, you can do delve, you can do hardcore delve. Right now, that's it. It will gain all the properties of the league you base it off of. If you parent your league to a challenge league, you'll be able to do the challenges from that league in your private league. So you can finish your challenges in delve in the group delve league, SSF, whatever, right? You're also able to voluntarily migrate your characters or the entire league out to the parent league, just like regular SSF league. So this is actually really important. Remember what I said earlier about them not wanting to make item quantity drop bonuses for the leagues, because otherwise the game gets too easy. I had that same concern because I was like, okay, if you can add all these mods, make the game really hard, and then you get a bunch of extra loot out of it, you can then just transfer that stuff into the main game, into the main league or into standard, right? and that'll fuck up the economy in those leagues pretty hard. So because they said no to that, then it doesn't give any issue. It doesn't give any like issues to the economies, right? Which is good. The league is parented to the current Challenge League, and the Challenge League ends, it loses its Challenge League properties and becomes parented to Standard or Hardcore. It's just like any other league. When it ends, the Standard Delve goes to Standard Softcore, Hardcore Delve goes to Hardcore Standard. Private leagues are exposed to the regular trade APIs. It will be indexed by both community trade sites and pathofexile.com/trade. So that means that if you're in a big group SSF trade or league with a bunch of like 100-player slots, it doesn't say there's a cap on this. So you could just keep buying these, I guess, if you have a big enough audience or player base that wants to join you. And then you can search for them individually on pathofexile.com/trade. So you can trade with each other via that API, right? Which is kind of interesting, but not. For now, they're PC only. Eventually, they'll do on Xbox One, which is pretty cool. They're also going to do a frequently asked questions about it on the day that they release them sometime next week. Okay. So schedule for like currently, this league ends, I believe, on the 1st of this month, if I remember right. Or 1st of next month, sorry. Let me look. There was like a date. I forget what the date was exactly, so I'm gonna do that. So they're announcing the new feature that was right that we just read. We get another one tomorrow, non 3.5 announcement. And then we get a 3.5 expansion announcement on the 14th of November. December 4th, Delve League ends. And then this next league, 3.5, starts December 7th for the ES, for your US EU. Which means you get an extra week of this league to finish challenges and grind out some currency and whatnot. I will also be doing a investments video soon. You can look for that probably tomorrow or the next day. For those of you that play Standard or Hardcore Standard and want to bring stuff back from Delve League to make currency with. So if you're looking ahead for that, hit that sub button. Let me know if you want to see it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty hyped about this custom league thing. We've been asking for something like this for a while. We might end up doing it for our community. I don't know. I do like trading a lot. Like I've only played SSF once back in Legacy League because that league was like 8 months and I got so fucking bored. I was like, I gotta do something else. So I played SSF to remind myself why I like playing the game. But I think that there's gonna be a lot of streamer group communities doing this sort of thing. And a lot of players that are also doing this sort of thing, like just within their friend group, making an SSF league and playing together. I like that concept. My only worry mainly is that this is a lot of money, but I mean, you are making your own server, and then also it's going to dilute the player base even further. GG's talked about this when it comes to racing, when it comes to SSF leagues that they added to the core game. Every time you add a new league like that, it further splits the player base. So if you imagine you have like 100,000 players and you split them into 2 leagues, that's a big split, right? You lose players in each league, and then you split that into 4 leagues, you split that into 8 leagues, you split that into an infinite number of leagues. The overall player base for the main game, the main temp league, or the main like standard game, right? It's gonna be much, much smaller overall, which is a little bit worrisome, right? I'm also curious if each one of these individual leagues will get their own labyrinth rewards. For those of you that don't know, if you win the labyrinth ladder for the day, like the first person for each league in each difficulty, you get an Emperor's Jewel. Let me go on the wiki and show you. Emperor's Mastery, Might, Wit, and Cunning. These are, only way to get these is to win lab daily. I don't know, a lot of people don't even know these exist. It's only 1 per league per day. It's how you get like character size jewels, damage character size, global crit character size, int. It's just like, these are really expensive, right? The top one for standard is like, I don't remember which one it is. Endgame Labyrinth, yeah, I think this is the main one. This one's like 10x, and it only goes out 1 per day, so there's a very limited supply of it. If you can generate 1 of these for each difficulty in your own private league, I don't know. You could, I mean, 10 days, you can get 10 jewels. Actually, you can get, I guess you probably wouldn't be able to get Uber Lab done that fast. Uber Lab's gonna be a bitch. 10 players sharing trials, you can probably get Uber Lab done in a day. So you could get 10 Mastery, 10 Might, 10 Wit, 10 Cunning for 12 bucks. Probably worth it long term if you want to bring them back and sell them, you know? I know, it's interesting. My main complaint is this should be a discount slightly. But if we end up doing something like this for the future, I'll announce it on YouTube, I'll announce it on Twitch, and we will like coordinate together to crowdfund the league and see how many players we need to actually unlock it for. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. I'm pretty hyped about it. I think it'll be fun. I'm just worried about a couple little things, but overall it should be good for the game, and it's obviously more money for GGG, which is good for everybody. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. That'll be Demi out. Thanks for watching.